This is someone testing the strength of a single thread of spider silk.
This is the deadliest spider in North America, known as the black widow. Besides being deadly, it's also known to have one of the strongest spider silks on the planet. Now I have one single strand of black widow silk. I've wrapped it around these two sticks now, and I'm just going to place these hooks of wire on it and see how many we can put on it before it breaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, 11. Okay, so that was able to hold 1.408 grams. That means its tensile strength is 1.09 gigapascals. That's literally stronger than high-grade steel. Stronger than high-grade steel.
So it is indeed stronger than steel. But then, what about this ayah? وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْعَنْكَبُوتِ, indicating that the spider's house is the weakest of all houses. So, how should we actually understand this ayah, knowing that spider silk is one of the strongest materials there is? Well, let's break it down step by step to really understand what is actually going on here. First of all, yes, spider silk is stronger than steel, and that's a scientific fact. But here's a key point. Can you actually build something strong with it? The answer is yes. If it was really thick and condensed together, then it would be really strong. It is actually used in making bulletproof vests. But this is exactly the point. While the material itself is strong, the threads of spiderweb are incredibly thin. So thin that the slightest touch or even a puff of air can break the spider's web. It is like saying wood is strong, and it is, of course. But if you, let's say, tried to build a house out of toothpicks, would that be strong? Of course not. So the ayah isn't actually talking about the chemical strength of the silk as material, but it is describing the house, the construction made from the incredibly thin and fragile threads. The ayah is not saying, and the weakest material is spider silk, but rather pointing to the structural weakness of the spider's house, something anyone can observe and test for themselves. It is not only fragile and easily destroyed, but it doesn't even protect them from predators, heat, cold, rain, wind, or basically anything. It is indeed the weakest house there is. If anything, it is amazing that Allah created the weakest house there is from the strongest material. It is miraculous, to say the least. But here's what's even more amazing and more miraculous. The Arabic word bayt, which is used in the ayah, has several meanings and references in Arabic. It can refer to a house as an actual physical construction, which we just discussed to be the weakest. But the word bayt can also be used to refer to the emotional or familial sense, so referring to people, the family, the bond, or home. And even in that sense, the spider's home is still indeed the weakest there is. But then, how? Well, let me introduce you to the black widow spider, which eats the male spider directly after the mating process, and that is why it is called the black widow. There are other types of spiders where the offsprings eat their father directly after hatching. Other types of spiders, the female scares away and drives off the male from its house after mating. And a fourth type of spiders where the mother eats its own offsprings. And other types where the offsprings eat their mother right after they grow and get stronger. So a home of a spider isn't particularly full of love and care. Quite the contrary, actually. Therefore, it is quite accurate to say that indeed the home of a spider is the weakest home there is. So the ayah did not only describe the physical, material meaning accurately, but also the non-materialistic emotional meaning of it. So in whichever way you look at it, it is a perfect description. But it doesn't stop here. Notice the verb اتخذت بيتا. This verb right here is in a feminine form, which means that it is used when the subject or the doer of the action is a female. So the ayah here is saying that the one that is preparing a home for itself is a female. But isn't that strange considering that a male is typically the one that arranges the house for its mate? Well, as it happens, and as it has been scientifically proven that for spiders, it is the other way around. The female spider is the one that typically builds and maintains the structure of the house. This is the case for all types of spiders, and there are more than 30,000 types of spiders. Imagine saying a statement that applies to more than 30,000 cases, and it turns out to be accurate and correct. So, in just a part of an ayah, Allah describes the spider's house with perfect accuracy, physically, socially, and linguistically. Something no one could have done or known centuries ago. And yet, here it is. But for me, the most amazing part is that when we learned writing, we would learn to never use absolute statements like, this is the biggest, strongest, weakest, etc. Because those statements can easily be challenged or proven wrong over time. They are not time-proof. But in the case of the Quran, and this ayah specifically, facts are given in a strong, absolute sense, and every single one of them stands true. Who could speak with that level of certainty about every aspect of creation except the one who created it, the one who knows his creation better than anyone else? ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my latest books with their video courses if you want to learn the Quran in Arabic or properly learn its tajweed. Check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, insha'Allah.